we have a few minutes for questions before the next section of our program. So if you have any question, there are some microphones in here. So please stand up, state your name. Any question from the audience?
I have a question. My name is Rob Shen from Rochester, Minnesota. I had a question for Dr. Baines. You showed on one of your slides a CT scan of reconstruction that showed a reduction of the total lung volume space because a Gore-Tex mesh had basically connected 2 points, and the shortest point between 2 points is a straight line, and we agree that that's to be avoided. What do you think is the best strategy to avoid that? Is that a situation where you use artificial ribs to provide a scaffolding, or do you prefer using a Marlex methacrylate to provide a curvature to avoid that straight line?
You know, you need to be using the material that you are comfortable with. I personally would use methyl methacrylate. You can conform it to the shape you want. You can model it at the time you're working with it. You can change the dimensions. It works out very well. But if you are used to metallic reconstruction, you can clearly bend those, and you can give the shape. With the metallic reconstruction, you need to be using some kind of mesh, most likely biological mesh that tissues can grow into. And you need to try to avoid any space, because if there's any space, there's collection of fluid that is likely to get infected. So if your lung is getting fully expanded, you need to have a rigid reconstruction with proper skin coverage so that there's no air leak and there's no dead space.
Gaetano Rocco, New York. Can I ask a question to Marcelo Jimenez? Marcelo, that was a fantastic presentation. One of your slides showed very clearly what are the features that we need to look for when we select the ideal material for chest wall reconstruction. I wonder if those features are not kind of summarized in the actual homografts from cadavers that some groups have been using for a while now, like heliocrest or sternal replacement. So they can be inosculated by vessels. When you use it with omentum, they create a bed where you have a perfect integration in the host. So I wonder if that could be a good material to start with, to study also, to understand the future characteristics. The second question is, there is experimental work on the use of wood as a precursor of hydroxyapatite structures in order to create the bone. This is something that we should take into consideration. It's been considered in many, many institutions around the world to create bone from wood.
Thank you, Gaetano. Of course, I think the material from cadaveric donors is a perfect material, especially after decellularized the bone. Probably most of the osteoinductive material, synthetic material, they try to copy, they try to imitate the human bone, of course. Related to the use of wood for induce of different formation of bone, I read something about, but I think it's in the initial work. It's like I showed about not just the geometry and the porosity. If you put something with a structure that the body understands that this is natural, he tried to attract, he tried to produce osteocyte, attract mesenchymal stem cell, and use like a natural structure, of course.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we have to move on. The speakers are available here at